Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the rare Tuesday NFL edition of Today in Sports Betting. Scotty, it's Tuesday night football. What do you think?
I'm not going to complain. If you look at the other sports that we have right now, you have baseball and did I mention baseball?
There's some baseball going on.
And you got some international tennis going on.
What are we doing? What are we going to do tomorrow, Scott, with no football?
We have college football tomorrow.
We have a Wednesday college football game tomorrow?
We got Coastal Carolina versus Louisiana Lafayette.
Oh, that should be a good game.
We have football every day this week. Besides, I don't actually know if there is college on Thursday, but there's of course going to be no Thursday night NFL game.
You got Georgia State and Arkansas State Thursday, Scott.
We got football every day this week.
Every day, and 2 games on Friday.
Yeah, I guess that means we're doing the college football show tomorrow.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know what it means either. But this is I'm excited. I'll tell you that much.
We're going to be taking a deep dive at Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Lafayette Région Cajuns tomorrow. But today, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans.
Welcome back, Titans.
Titans lost their game, COVID-19 to 0. They've been in a little bit of a hiatus there, Scott. Took about 2 weeks off. They just got back to practice on Saturday. Do you think that's going to make a difference in this game?
Well, you had the facilities that were shut down. Then they had the breakaway practice without any actual agreement from the NFL. So you had some issues there. Then you had more positive tests. And then, I guess the Titans opened up practice about 3 days ago or so, and they've been practicing since. But doing the math on that, if you have about 14 days of potential practice time or even a little bit less, 13 days, 12 days, and you only practice for 3 of those days, that means you're still missing a decent amount of practice opportunities, which makes me believe they might be a little bit rusty in this spot. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would. And, they not only that, but this isn't a game that they've had on the radar for 10 days. They had another game that they had to postpone with the Pittsburgh game, which got moved. So they've only had a limited amount of time to actually game plan for the Bills.
You've had 3 days on the field to practice for Buffalo, and I think that's a problem.
I agree. Both these teams are undefeated, Scott. Buffalo 4-0. Tennessee Titans are 3-0.
They're 0-3 against the spread, though.
What's that?
Tennessee's still 0-3 against the spread.
Yeah, they still have not covered the number, while Buffalo's 3-0-1 against the spread. This game is currently Buffalo minus 3.5. But there is Titans money coming in, Scott. This is juiced to the Titans at minus 125. I know they're going to hold the line there at that key number as long as they can, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that drop to 3.
That wouldn't surprise me either. But especially if you're getting more than a field goal with a home underdog, I definitely think that's attractive to, I say, the public, in my opinion. Because you're getting an undefeated team at home at plus points, but I'm assuming we agree. I like Buffalo here. I think the lack of practice time is huge.
Yeah, it's hard not to. Now the Tennessee defense, it
has not been good.
It hasn't. They really struggled to stop the run. But good news for the Tennessee defense, Buffalo don't really run the ball too much. And it's weird because Singletary, they didn't use him a lot last year, but he did average 5.1 yards per carry. But they just haven't leaned on that rushing game at all this season. They have just 100 attempts, averaging less than 4 yards per carry. So this is going to be an air 'em out situation with the Buffalo Bills. Now, the thing about the Bills, if you follow the Bills the last few years, they've been pretty much all defense and really struggled on offense. And this year, that is completely switched. They are 30th in yards, or 30th in points, 31st in yards. The defense has not been getting the job done, but they've been doing the job enough because this Buffalo offense and Josh Allen, who's arguably having the best season of anybody not named Russell Wilson. Would you agree with that, Scott?
You have Wilson, Mahomes, Rodgers, but yeah.
But if you look at the numbers for this season, it's Russell Wilson and Josh Allen. That's it.
Yeah, I think Rodgers you make a case for, but still, definitely on a short list for the MVP right now.
Yeah, no question about it. And it's I don't know. I'm with you. I'm kind of a fan of the Bills in this spot.
I'm assuming we also like the over here.
I don't know how you don't. It's money. Money is coming in on the
on the
under.
under, but I know that you faded the line moves in the past. We both liked the over yesterday, even though the over 3 points came in on the under, and we didn't really care, and
No,
it didn't matter. So yeah,
I got a better price.
yep.
That's what I cared about. So
But yeah, I think both teams have a decent shot to get into, I'd say, at least the mid to high, either 20s or even the low 30s. I think this game would turn into a shootout. Tennessee's offense has been pretty good, especially since Derrick Henry has not been as efficient as they hoped he would be. So they've been kind of letting Tannehill air it out a little bit more as well, and he's definitely looked good in the process. Overall, though, I think that Buffalo should win probably around, I'd say, 31-27, give or take.
cutting a little thin there, my friend.
I think that the line is going to be closer than we think, but I still think both teams should be able to score points because both defenses haven't exactly been that good.
Here's the problem with playing the over. If you want to play a little devil's advocate, is you've got a couple of receivers for the Tennessee Titans that are not going to be able to go for tonight, including Corey Davis, which is kind of a big deal. Adam Humphries, a little more.
AJ Brown's questionable, so there's a chance that you could just basically be substituting Corey Davis for AJ Brown for Corey Davis, which is definitely an upgrade. But of course, you want everybody to be healthy. Then again, AJ Brown also didn't play in the last game, and they still scored 30-plus points. So Tennessee has found ways to manufacture points anyway. I just think both offenses in a game that it's going to be outdoors, but the weather's going to be fine. It's going to be low 50s, but no wind, no rain or anything like that. I think you're going to see points. So I'm going to lean to the over.
I don't think that's a terrible call. I think Buffalo's going to be able to score quickly. I don't know that Tennessee's offense is going to be efficient, but I think they're going to have a lot of shots.
It's mostly just fading Buffalo's defense at this point.
Yeah, agreed. Now, Scott, you touched on it a little bit with Derrick Henry, but I kind of wanted to dive down into that. He's if you look at the rushing leaders, you see Derrick Henry's name up there among the leaders with total yards. He's having a fine season, but if you dig a little deeper,
his yards per carry is not good.
Yeah, 3.9 yards per carry this year versus 5.1 yards per carry last year. That's a hell of a drop off. You and I talked about this when we do our preview show about the stats when a running back gets 400 or more carries in a season, his production drops off significantly. And I don't know, do you think that's what's happened? Are they just beating the hell out of this kid?
Possibly. I also remember Derrick Henry is always a guy who peaks in November, December. And if you look at his numbers in his career, he's always kicks it into another gear during those months. So I'm not going to immediately sell stock on Derrick Henry. He tends to be a little bit of a slow starter and a huge finisher. So we'll see what happens as soon as it gets into the 30-degree weather, 20-degree weather in November and December. But definitely not exactly a good look so far, but I expect him to heat up once again during the cold months.
All right. I do have a premium play on the side here, but I will go ahead and go with you and fade what looks to be a public move here as far as the total goes. I don't see a lot of defense getting played in this game. I'll take the over 51.5 as well.
Yep.
You got any player props cooked up here that you're digging on?
Truth is, I really didn't look at player props that much. I was kind of just looking at the game itself. I wasn't sure for Tennessee who was actually going to be playing or not, so I didn't want to touch any of the receiver props, etc. For the sake of the Bills, I guess I would lean to Josh Allen over in passing yards because they just like to throw the ball, but Tennessee has been struggling against the run, so I'm not sure if they're going to sprinkle in some running in there. Maybe Josh Allen anytime touchdown score, I think, is a decent prop there if you wanted to look into it because he has been really good in the red zone, especially with his legs. But for me personally, I'm just going to lean to the over and I'll lean to Buffalo and I'll just call it there.
All right. Yeah, we had a player prop yesterday. That was our play of the day. Josh Kelly over 18.5 receiving yards. And it didn't work out for us. They pretty much made Justin Jackson the entire focus of that offense. Kelly caught one pass out of the backfield, nice little swing pass, 9 yards there in the first half. Like, wow, there you go. That's off to a good start. They'll throw him the ball a couple more times, and we'll go over our total. And they never looked his way again. So, my prop betting is off to its usual fantastic fast start.
I went with the game prop over 5.5 touchdowns, and that got there.
So and we had on the we had the over there as far as the premium play goes, so that worked out okay for us.
Okay, nice.
Josh Allen's number, by the way, is 290.5. if you want to play the over there, Ryan Tannehill 242.5. I don't hate that either. So
Yep.
take your pick. I think either one of these guys would be a fine play, but I think for the big play here, I'm going to go ahead and go with you on the over 51.5 on the Titans Bills game.
Yep.
There you go. All right, guys, that wraps up our very first edition of a Tuesday NFL show. Thanks very much for watching. Of course, if you're looking for a deeper dive into this, no place like winnersandwhiners.com. Deepest dives anywhere on the internet, guaranteed. So please act responsibly when it comes to this information. Don't tell everybody. Don't drive those lines down. Kind of keep it to yourself. Scott and I still want to get a good number here. So, as always, we appreciate you watching. We couldn't do it without you. Otherwise, it'd just be me and Scott texting about sports all day. This is pretty much what we do anyway. So thanks for checking in, getting a little glimpse of our life. Appreciate it. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket today turns into cash money. And for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.